Hey everybody, this is Brandon Ford and welcome to another edition of the Blind Rage podcast. For this week's TV edition, it is Tales from the Crypt, The Assassin from Season 6, starring Shelley Hack. And I'm using the DVD edition. As I said with a previous episode from Season 6, this is not a very popular season, and therefore not a lot of the episodes are on YouTube, so you might have a little bit of difficulty finding this one if you want to watch along, unless you have the set. I'm sure it's probably on Vimeo, so if you can't find it on YouTube. And before we get into the episode, I have to get the standard plugs out of the way. Please don't forget to check out my books in paperback and Kindle editions by going to Amazon.com or the Amazon app. There you'll also find my author page. I'm sorry, I sound like I'm about to cry or something, but I'm trying really hard not to burp. Yeah, you can also find me. You could also find me books. You can also find my books on in audiobook format on audible.com or the Audible app by typing in Brandon Ford. If you don't already, please follow me on Instagram at writer Brandon Ford, all one word. You can also follow me on Twitter at Brandon Ford. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, criticisms, suggestions, recommendations, you can email me directly at blindragepod81@gmail.com. Lastly, if you have a few spare seconds, please don't forget to rate and or review. It only takes few seconds just to give the podcast a star rating. Even if you don't want to write a full review or any review, a star rating would be very much appreciated regardless of which platform you listen on. It helps with the algorithms and gets the show some more exposure. So please just take a few seconds to give the show a rating, even if it's not a 5-star, although a 5-star would be appreciated. Anyway, I hope you are ready to get into this hot ass mess, because we are going to begin with a 3 count. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Or not. Let's try this again. 3, 2, 1, play. Or not. Let's try this again. 3, 2, 1, play. Fuck. There it is. Jesus Christ. I was all ready to fucking stop this recording, but I like it. I like when these hiccups happen, because most people would edit them out, and first of all, I don't know how to do that. Second of all, it shows that I'm human. I am a human being who makes mistakes. The biggest mistake, I think, is probably about to come up now, and that's going to be that this is the wrong episode. I'm waiting for it. And of all seasons to have a fuck up on, it's season 6. Jesus Christ. When the show took a very steady decline in quality before all quality went completely out the window with season 7, which is unwatchable. Now we're about to find out in a second if this is the right episode, because Bill Sadler playing Death is in the opening. It's in the intro. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. There he is. Okay, so this is the assassin. And why he's here, I don't know. I don't know. Not that I have anything against Bill Sadler. I enjoy him very much as an actor. I enjoy the Death character very much. I enjoy Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I haven't seen Face the Music, but I really enjoyed him. I think he's very funny in Bogus Journey. And again, I like him as an actor. He did a very good job in the episode he was in, The Man Who Was Death, which I believe was the very first episode from season one. But he has nothing to do with this with the actual episode itself. Sometimes they have celebrities interacting with the Crypt Keeper during the intros and outros, but those celebrities have had at least something to do with the episode. Like they have Whoopi Goldberg, who was in the actual episode that she is interacting with him in, and then we have another one with Arnold Schwarzenegger who directed the episode. So it makes total sense. Again, why Bill Sadler is here, I don't know. And what this wraparound again has to do with, because now they're just saying, they're showing that they're enemies all of a sudden, and they're going full cutting cards, which is one of the best episodes and one I should have done a commentary for. Maybe I will very soon.
My rock beats your scissors. Give me your hand.
This is a really long intro.
Well, kiddies, looks like your pal the Crypt Keeper's in the fright of his life. Death, which is kind of like the woman in tonight's Tale. It's a nasty little chopping spree I call...
Oh.
The Assassin. That didn't hurt one bit.
I remember very few of the visuals from this episode because it's one I haven't seen in a long time, probably because it's not good. This is one, I don't remember if I told the story on this particular introduction or the introduction for another episode from season 6. Nevertheless, I'll tell it again. This is an episode that I recorded onto a VHS with some other stuff, and so when I was watching other things, it would come up, and I would just watch it, or have it on in the background. So I'm pretty familiar with it, or I was up until the point, and I think this was one of the only episodes from this. Oh no, I do remember watching a couple others, but I do remember not being all that impressed with them, and I think that is because I was able to see the writing on the wall even at like fucking, what was I, 13, 14? And you have Corey Feldman in an episode. I mean, Jesus Christ. And this, I believe, is right when he got those weird eyebrow tattoos. And they're almost identical to the ones Joey Lawrence got. And they look weird. They don't look natural. Men should not get eyebrow tattoos. Women, I've seen women who've gotten them. A girl I used to work with had them and they looked really good. But men, no, don't do that.
Excuse me. May I help you? I hope so, Mrs. McKay. My name's Simone Bardou. I'm with the Los Angeles...
Simone Bardou. What a name.
My husband? Yes, when do you expect him home? At 6.
7. May I ask what this is all about?
Routine matter, man. When you say 7, do you mean he leaves work at 7 or he actually arrives home at 7?
I think I better call my husband right now.
That really won't be necessary. As I said, the questions are merely a formality.
I think you should know that my husband and I have friends in the police department, Miss Bardu. Friends in high places. Do you know Captain Landau?
Yes, ma'am, I know the captain very well.
You do?
It was his idea I speak with you alone. We believe that you'd be in great danger.
There is no Captain Landau.
Danger? What are you talking about? Jeremy would never hurt anybody.
Perhaps not the Jeremy you know, but the man I'm acquainted with would kill a man as casually as he'd pull the wings off a fly.
I didn't even bother revisiting this episode before recording the commentary. I figured, what the fuck is the point? I know it's shitty. I've seen it enough. Also, I think it's funny. Corey Feldman in a domineering position is kind of laughable. I mean, like, who the fuck would be intimidated by Corey Feldman? He's just such a joke. He is, like, my generation's David Hasselhoff, I think. Although David Hasselhoff kind of knows that he's a joke.
Well, it sounds like closer. She wants the drink moved closer. She's thirsty.
No. If she wanted a drink, she'd say drink or scotch. She wouldn't say, use your head.
Who cares how she says it? Just give her the drink.
No, wait.
I can't remember who this other guy is, but his voice is very familiar.
Coaster. Is a coaster.
Oh, God.
How did I get stuck with the two of you as my cleanup crew?
Listen, I would look in the mirror if I were you, okay? Because I'm not the only one who's got this bitch figured out back asswards, all right? Question time, lady. This Captain Landau you mentioned. Back to fiction.
Don't answer. I don't want to know.
Fiction.
She fed you a line. You took it the cheek, hook, line, and sinker. Now I beg your pardon. But who is
So, I hate to, well, no, I don't really hate to. I really don't care, because this is not a good episode, and one that I don't think anybody should mind being spoiled, but, yeah, I'm going to spoil this for you. So,
Dumb. No policeman in his right mind would break into someone's home.
Shelley Hack is a former assassin, and is the character is a male to female transgender, and she changed her full identity
That's a real.
to go into hiding,
Your hubby used to glare at me just like that. Real fire in his eyes.
and
I bet not.
What about you?
Oh, we were an item once upon a time. Save the girl talk for later.
I mentioned this podcast before, but I'm not, again, these guys get on my nerves so fucking bad because they hate everything about the show, yet they claim to be hardcore fans of it. And
I have a dinner party tonight.
they say that this episode is so offensive to the transgender community. And while I'm not transgender and I can't speak for the transgender community, I can't
Your husband.
Who's Jeremy McKay?
fathom how or why anybody who's transgender could be offended by the episode, because it's so stupid and it makes no fucking sense. And it's not the way being transgender works, because you find out that Shelley Hack's character
Assassin.
is transgender because she's able to bring her male voice back, which is, that's not, you can't do that. And plus, when you're transgender, you don't have a totally different voice completely.
Ronald Walt. Nobody's
Especially if you're a grown man who is transitioning into a woman. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be the, you know, one. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on what it's like to be transgender, but there are certain things that you'd have to be a complete idiot not to recognize as nonsensical with regard to this episode.
I said the man is an AWOL assassin for the CIA. He has been missing for 5 years. Do you really?
He's been missing for 5 years, and he was able to transition from a female to a male. I mean, scratch that. From a male to a female, to get married, to completely change his physical appearance, to create himself or portray or, you know, become this happy homemaker. It's just, it's so unbelievable.
Ring a bell.
I don't understand.
Mrs. McKay, your husband has some very unusual bridge work. So unusual, in fact, that his dentist plugged into a dental forum on the internet. Wanted to get some help from his fellow tooth fairies. Now, it just happens on pure fluke, one of our spooks was listening to the exchange. Well, we ran his x-rays through our computer. Well, here we are.
Your husband's been a very bad boy. Time to clean up his mess.
It's going to take me about 3 hours to set up. I'd like to get started if it's all right with you.
Do it. Take her to the basement. Put a gun in her mouth.
We have a no witness policy here, Miss McKay.
And there's one scene that I remember where, again, Shelley Hack's character is, in her former life, a trained assassin for the CIA. However, there's one scene where she's able to get one of the guns away from the intruders, I guess, who think that she is her husband, and she can't work it. I mean, she acts very much like a dainty lady throughout the majority of the episode until the very last minute when she reveals that she has transitioned.
I like this. This is a nice setup you got here.
Oh, God.
Let me ask you a question, Miss McKay. What do you prefer? Do you prefer the Stairmaster or the bike?
Treadmill.
Treadmill? Yeah, me too. You know, really, the old buns, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, God. Corey Feldman is definitely one of those actors or personalities where you have to wonder where he gets his confidence from.
Thank you, I know.
Don't kill me.
Mrs. McKay, just, you know, stop that. I've got a job to do. You've got a job to do. Your job is to die. My job is to kill you. So sit down and just, you know,
What about sex, Todd?
well, what about it? I mean, you know, personally speaking, I think it's, you know, a lot of hard work to smell somebody's bad breath. Personally.
And he thinks he's funny, and he's not.
You know. Hey, Mrs. McKay, just slow down, okay? You know,
I can show you.
you could.
Don't you like girls?
Yeah, I like girls just fine, Mrs. McKay. I just think they kind of find me creepy, you know what I mean?
Find you creepy.
Yeah.
I guess that was supposed to be a hint.
Really
I think he said, I find you kind of creepy. I think that was supposed to be a hint that he is picking up on,
stop, please. Take your hand off of me.
not that transgender people are creepy, but that there's something about her that isn't right. Okay. Oh, God. I'm trying really hard not to offend anybody, but I feel like I'm failing. But there is something about her that isn't that. Not that being transgender is wrong. God, there's something off here. Meaning that he is picking up on something that is telling him that she isn't who she claims to be.
Mrs. McKay, I'm still gonna kill you when I'm finished. Whoa! Whoa! Hey, Mrs. McKay! Mrs. McKay! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop! Mrs. McKay! McKay! Stop it! Yeah, no!
We ready yet?
You know, I would very much like to make my 12-step program tonight.
Oh my god.
We'll be out of here way before then. I'd like them both to leave in a 2-5 garbage bag.
Drawstring or twisty top?
Whichever. What the hell is keeping him? I'll be right back.
Chop, chop.
See, one of many things, aside from the episodes being bad, that I don't like about the episodes in the season, is that a lot of them try to go for this weird comedic element. And I know there was a fair bit of comedy in several of the earlier episodes. But I just don't think it works in the ones here. And for CIA assassins, these sure are a bunch of fucking bumbling idiots. Especially Corey Feldman. No wonder he was the first to die. And she obviously lives in suburbia. Nobody hears these gunshots. Oh. So, not only does she has a dinner party that is expected on this same night, but she has to not only cook a meal for the guests, she has to dispose of the bodies, just to clean up.
We have to talk.
And she does.
Who are you? I'm your worst nightmare.
She does, do the obvious thing, which is serve the assassins up for dinner. But I don't think it's as easy to cut up a human being and cook them as it would be like a fucking turkey.
Why? Because I knew it really turned him on. Does he still like the road stuff? Huh? Does he still like it when you bite his neck so hard that it draws blood? Does he? Does he? Yes. See, you can change the way you look. You can't change what you're made of. Tell you the truth.
There comes the big reveal. Hold on.
It's been such a long time. Not long enough.
Gwen.
Oh god, it's so stupid.
Gwen. At least that's what you told me your name was when we were dating.
I don't know who this guy is,
If I knew of all people would have something nice to say about my new bridge work.
but his voice is so fucking familiar. I think he's probably a voice actor, but I've heard this voice before.
A dinner party at 7.
Another gunshot in suburbia.
It's 5 o'clock.
And it's 5 o'clock? What?
Really have my work cut out for me. Well, you and your friends will just have to help.
So she has less than 2 hours to clean up all this mess and make a fucking big dinner?
Round we go.
the fuck out of here. You really have to suspend disbelief for this dumbass episode.
Honey, only a spoon could ruin your perfect putty. More salad, anyone?
I gotta fucking Google who did that male voice, because now it's irking me. Because I know that voice. Yeah, and now we're about to. The only reason why she cooked the foot was that so you could see it later, and you would know that she served up the other assassins for dinner. And by the way, sidebar, wouldn't the other members of the CIA know where they had gone? Because they aren't the only three, or they weren't the only three who were in on this. Because they said, or Corey Feldman's character said that one of their fucking, I don't fucking know, people, spies, were on the internet chat room where the dentist was, and that's how he found out where Shelley Hack was. So other people know. And you mean to tell me they're not going to come looking?
How you do it, I'll never know. Janet McKay, you are quite a woman.
Of course I am, silly.
What else would I be?
So stupid.
1, 2, 3. That Janet, she must be a hell of a cook. I don't know about you kiddies, but I found Simone pretty hard to swallow. Personally, I wouldn't have made them into a stew. I think Creeps Suzette would have been much more.
Creeps Suzette. Oh God. I think even by this point they found out that, I mean, they ran out of good puns.
Well,
Creeps Suzette.
I won.
Hey, what are you talking about? I am still here. Let's play again. Come on. Double or nothing.
Take my advice, pal. Quit while you're ahead.
That, oh my God, that was so obvious. As much as I forgot about everything in this episode, I knew that was coming. Oh, Jesus. So, thanks for staying with me to the bitter, bitter end of Tales from the Crypt, the Assassin. I'm sorry for picking this episode. I really am. Nevertheless, I hope you come back to join me for more episodes of Tales from the Crypt, hopefully some better ones. So, until next time, this is Brandon Ford, wishing you all unpleasant dreams.